We're on what feels very ancient, mystical land where people have lived in harmony with Mother Earth for thousands of years. We're just underneath what's called the Elephant Rock, and this is an ancient shelter for both animals, sheep or goats, and the shepherd himself, who would sleep up on a little rock just above us here, taking shelter from the weather on the night. And I believe that in a way we're asked to do the same, not to hide, but to at times to take shelter. There is caves like this all over the earth. I disagree with the saying that humanity is bad, because I believe for many, many hundreds of thousands of years we have been hunter-gatherers. We have lived more or less in harmony with Mother Earth. We didn't have to own much, and therefore we didn't have to fight for ownership, for land. This is a very recent development brought about by so-called civilization. One of the core questions we have to ask ourselves is, do we believe that we can create a new world through a revolution, or will it happen through evolution? And I'm a firm believer that it will happen through evolution. Evolution which starts in each one of us. All the problems in the world, from the destruction of nature to wars, to disparity in terms of food and health, is the result of us having been wounded for a very long time. We have been wounded civilizations. Yes, some might have been a bit more enlightened than others, but generally speaking, we have been wounded for thousands of years, ever since we have separated from this harmony with Mother Earth, which has been practiced by thousands of indigenous cultures all over the earth for a very long time. Most of the people's names simply meant ordinary people. They didn't try to be superior to others or better than others. They were just being ordinary people. I believe not ordinary at all, because they were very spiritual people, heart-based people, feeling people, conscious people. Some of the people I feel the closest to, and I have pretty much all this life since I was a teenager, and I started to become aware of the Buffalo Nations, the nomadic cultures of North America, who have lived in harmony with the buffalo for thousands of years. I have met many of those cultures in this life, and I've met some beautiful people. Of course, the people are also sad, and many are hurt because they have lost their way of life as a result of the settlement by Europeans on their land and bringing diseases and so forth. In fact, the Holocaust, which was brought about to them, it is estimated that 60 million people have lost their life, and over 500 cultures. Is much bigger than any other Holocaust we often refer to. So, revolution or evolution? To me, a revolution is a wounded reaction to a situation where we feel helpless, where we feel overwhelmed, so we get angry, we get frustrated. I'm not aware of any revolution which truly has brought about a better world. Yes, the French Revolution, for a long time I thought that this has brought about a better world, but I think largely it brought about a redistribution of wealth. I know that, for example, in the Emmental and the Entlebuch, a part of the cantons of Bern and Lucerne in Switzerland, I used to live in the Emmental myself. At some stage there was an uprising, a revolution, if you like, of the farmers, because the city people, the noble people, so to speak, who were waging war against others, were kept raising the taxes on the farmers. And the farmers who were working very hard at some stage simply said, we will not accept this anymore. And they brought about a violent revolution. The result of that revolution was that all the leaders and all the key people of that revolution were tortured and killed. Some were hiding out in caves just like this in the end, but ultimately they were all killed. Why do we need an evolution? We need an evolution because we cannot fix the problem which has brought about this wounded energy of us by a wounded reaction. We cannot rectify this. We cannot create a new and better world through us reacting with anger, with frustration, and even less with violence. Take America. Some of the people who are behind all those New World Order plans and so forth, who also want to reduce the world population, and I know this is raising the eyebrows of a lot of people, seems very unbelievable, but those people who have done their homework and a lot of research know that this is actually true, whether through vaccines or wars or you name it. So those people actually they are provocating over and over again a violent reaction of the people. They want a confrontation. The Homeland Security Office, department, has purchased 1 billion bullets. More and more, there is people, mercenaries, police, soldiers, used to contain crowds, crowd control and so forth. But their plan will only work if we continue to react, if we continue to react with violence, with force, with anger, with frustration. Take television. Yes, we can say 94% of all the media is controlled by 6 corporations in America, and that they are brainwashing everyone. We have one false flag event after another, which is getting severely exploited. But you know what? This only works as long as people are watching television. You can say those television stations are owned by a small group of people. Now, those people are not actually financing those television stations. On the contrary, they make money from owning them. How do the television stations make money? Through advertising. Why do people advertise in those stations? The decision to place an ad is based on how many people are watching that channel. Now, if we all start to turn off the television after yet another false flag attack, and we inform other people that this is actually what is happening. I just recently saw an interview with Ole Damgaard, who has been doing 30 years of investigative journalism and research. He is absolutely convinced that every one of the attacks over the last 20, 30 years, except Oklahoma, have been false flag attacks and events. I'm not sure don't have the same knowledge, but I do believe that a lot of them were not carried out by the people we are told have done those attacks. So, to come back to the television station, we have to get out of this game. We should not play the game that a small number of people who have a lot of influence and money want us to play. They want us, first of all, to be in fear. And it's not just about being the warrior and being brave and running down the policemen. The policemen are just people. The soldiers are just people. And often, yes, they are misinformed. Maybe they have no other choice. They all on some level think they're doing a good thing. They've been manipulated, whatever. By us condemning them, hating them, judging them, we will not change the system. We will not have a better world based on love and peace and harmony and compassion. But we have to be conscious of how we are actually a part of this system. How are we contributing to this whole thing? And so if we all turn off the television station, the people will see, wow, nobody watches this program anymore. Nobody wants to see 24 hours of coverage of Paris, of this thing. And, we've seen this in many, many cafes in France. And frankly, nobody watches it. Anyway, let's not participate in the system. The bankers can only be so wealthy and influential because many people have loans and mortgages. Why do we have loans and mortgages? Because we think maybe we need a better car, or we need a bigger house, or we have to own things. Well, we cannot, in a way, participate with our left arm in the system and with the right want to change and create a better world. So let us get out of this system. Let us not participate as much as we can, buy, and yes, and that's not easy. To be honest, and that's the other thing, we can do this on a voluntary basis. We can choose to do this, or maybe in the end we will be forced to do this. We may still actually lose a lot of what we may try to prevent to lose, money, security, whatever. And frankly, I don't think there is a lot of that security. Things can change within a short time. Currencies, stock markets, industries, jobs. A lot of the things can change within a short period of time. It doesn't have to be through wars, but of course war is one of the most devastating ways how things change. So we need to look at all aspects of our life and see where do we in some form or other contribute to what we do not like to see in the world, through what we are buying, owning, our job, but also, as I said in other videos, how do I add with what I have not healed to a world which is wounded? How do I contribute with my own wounds to a wounded world? I like the example, of course, of Mahatma Gandhi, who with a loincloth, with no weapons, no anger, no violence, managed to liberate 300 million Indians from the British Empire. To me, that is a good example of what is possible. More about what we can do in the second part of this video.